Oh, come on! What the hell? Ramza needs a serious speed boost to do this battle, so I'm gonna have to job change him into a ninja. Ninja! That's right! That's right! You can't take down the Ninja Ramza. Where was I? I hate it when games have traps like this. If you don't have a strategy guide, there is no way for you to prepare for these traps or know how to avoid them. Not only that, but if you don't save the game after each castle battle, and you happen to die on any one of them, you'll have to not only spend 10 to 15 minutes refighting each battle, but you have to sit and watch the 5-minute cutscenes in between the battles. And you can't just walk away and let the cutscenes run. Oh no, you have to sit and press a button to make the next character talk during these cutscenes. If you die in between any one of these battles, you get to do it all over again. It's like they didn't even fucking test this part of the game to see if maybe they need to add a skip cutscene part, or, you know, not putting several difficult battles back to back. Now, there are a couple different ways to power level your characters. The best one requires characters to already be level 99, which during normal play you'll never achieve, so I will only talk about the method useful to those who wish to finish the game in a relatively sane amount of time. First, have every character learn the Squire ability, accumulate, and gain JP up. Next, get Mustadio or an Oracle on your team. Now go to Mandalia Plains and enter a battle. Kill all but one enemy. Have your character prevent the remaining enemy from moving with Don't Move or Sleep, which is why you need Mustadio or an Oracle. Have all other characters use Accumulate again and again and again. Keep immobilizing that single enemy while you do this until you have all the JP and levels you desire for that job. Then, kill the enemy, change jobs, and do it all over again. For characters that cannot use Accumulate, such as Orlando, equip them with no weapon, have them hidden their character, then have them use potions to heal that character using the Chemist item command. If you wish to power level, just do it until character is about level 40. You don't need to be any higher than that to beat this game. Now, the original version of the PS1 is notorious for the number of glitches it has. There are ways to duplicate items, abuse the stack growth system, and fool the game into awarding characters infinite JP, and even seeing what monster is going to hatch from an egg. I'll show you how to do the two most useful tricks, JP glitching and item duping, just because this game is so freaking hard and you might actually want to do it. Go into the first skill purchasing menu with a job that can scroll down a page. Select that you wish to learn one of the skills, but don't learn it. Instead, hold the square button and press down. If you land on a skill that is worth 300 JP or more, the game should glitch and make the JP value of that job 0. Now leave the job menu and come back into it, and you should pretty much have infinite JP for that job to spend on abilities. Note that you can only do this trick with a job that allows you to scroll down a page. For the other jobs, you'll have to grind JP the normal way. I highly suggest using this glitch if you can, because trying to grind JP the way the developers intended you to do is massively boring, and quite honestly, spending hours having your characters spam accumulate and attack each other is not a demonstration of skill. The only thing that proves that you have lots of free time. You can also duplicate knight swords by equipping a knight with the ninja's two-hand skill. Put a weak shield that you don't care about into the first hand, and the knight sword that you wish to duplicate into the bottom hand. Now go to a castle that sells knight swords and enter the shop. Use the bet fit option, and you will be able to purchase that knight sword, overriding the shield you had before. Using this trick, you can hook up all your characters with Excaliburs as soon as you get Orlando. Before I end this review, I want to talk a little bit about the Deep Dungeon. This is a hidden and totally optional dungeon where you can find the most powerful items in the game using Chemist Move Find item ability. Now, because this game has so many references to previous Final Fantasy games, many people believe the Deep Dungeon must be a reference to a previous Final Fantasy game that wasn't released in the US. However, the truth is that this is a reference to a number of Wizardry clone games Square once made. That's right, Wizardry. See, in Japan, the Wizardry games were an extremely popular franchise during the 80s. There were many wizardry games that were only released in Japan, and Square created the Deep Dungeon series to tap into this popularity. In case you've never played one of these games, the general plot of a wizardry game is to traverse a dungeon and defeat a wizard on the bottom floor, which is the same thing you do in Deep Dungeon. Anyway, the Deep Dungeon is not for the faint of heart or the unprepared. The enemies are usually 10 levels higher than your characters, it is pitch black inside, and the only way to light is to kill enemies and let their bodies turn into crystals. To make matters worse, you need to find exit points hidden on the map. When I first played this game, I spent hours walking one panel at a time because my Prima strategy guide told me the exit could be anywhere, but in truth there are specific tiles the exit might appear on. The items you find on this map also appear in very specific locations and are not random. Now, the boss of the Deep Dungeon is worthy of note because he has the most powerful magic spell in the game, Zodiac, which is a summon. In order to learn it, you need a summoner to get hit with it and survive. The easiest way to do it is to have the summoner use the Time Mage's MP switch. To prove it, I had my level 26 summoner survive Zodiac and learn it. The boss himself is rather difficult, probably the second hardest battle in the game. He's definitely harder than Altima, the real final boss of the game. During the first phase against Altima, simply have Mustadio or Beowulf use Don't Act, then have Ramza use Scrim for a few rounds. Then you have him wail into Altima while Beowulf uses Drain. During the second phase, you should be able to deal enough damage to him that he won't even get a turn. So what's my final verdict on this game? Well, it really depends on what kind of player you are. If you don't mind the need to study strategy guides in order to play, and you enjoy having lots of different character options to play around with, Final Fantasy Tactics is a game you'll enjoy. However, if you'd just like to quickly dive right into the gameplay and just enjoy the story, Final Fantasy Tactics is going to frustrate you a lot. Mind you, the story of this game is great, but there are many roadblocks standing in your way from seeing it. You will need to be very determined. As I said in the beginning, the plot of this game is my favorite part about it, and I don't want to show the ending because I don't want to ruin it for anyone. Square released an updated version for the PSP called Final Fantasy Tactics: The War of Alliance, and if you'd like to play this game, I suggest checking that one out. I hear they have added new jobs, a multiplayer mode, a better translation, and features that ease some of the difficulty of this game, although many of the glitches have been corrected. But I hear the classic version can be downloaded from the PlayStation Network. Thanks for watching this episode of the RPG Fanatic, and keep coming back. I'll have more reviews for more games shortly.